everyone, it's Keira and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be me getting my crystal ball out and I'm going to be doing some predicting, guessing type thing. Today's video is going to be what series I think the current Formula 1 drivers would go to if they were to leave Formula 1 at the end of the year. So I'm going to be looking at all the different racing series we have got, and I've basically gone through the list of all the drivers and I've picked a series as to where I think that they would go to. Now, I have not put retire or go into music or go into fashion in any of this because I know half of this grid would literally go into fashion. So I am not doing that today. I literally picked a series for every single one of these drivers and I'll tell you exactly where I think they are going to go if they were to leave Formula 1 at the end of 2021. Before I get into the video, if you do enjoy it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. But I just think we should get into it. Also, not done in any specific order. I have literally just wrote down the names as I thought of them. So first, we're going to kick this off with Antonio Giovinazzi. Now, Antonio is a little bit of a difficult one because we know he's been in Formula 1 for a couple of years now, but like he's not really going anywhere. His career, I feel like it will drop off after Alpha whenever they decide to replace him. So where I could kind of see him going might be DTM. We know that Ferrari are in DTM now. They have got some Ferrari cars in there, so maybe I feel like Ferrari could maybe place him in DTM. We knew that DTM was kind of dying in the last couple of years, but it has been revived for 2021. So I feel like maybe Antonio could go there. Now next we have got Kimi Räikkönen. Now Kimi Räikkönen would hands down go to rallying. We know that Kimi has done rallying in 2009 in Finland and also in 2011 he'd done it in Wales. So Kimi would definitely go off to do rallying. I feel like he would probably more rather do it in Finland where his home is and where he was brought up. You know, that is his country. So I feel like he would probably rather do it in Finland than Wales. I mean, no disrespect to Wales, but I probably would as well. So yeah, I just feel like Kimi would definitely go off and do some rallying. Maybe in World Rallycross, maybe in Dakar, maybe even probably not Extreme E. I feel like he kind of wouldn't go that way. But Kimi Räikkönen, definitely a rallier because he technically is one. I actually said I didn't do this in an order, but I think I have done it in some sort of order, so please excuse. And I am saving the best till last. Now next we have Lance Stroll. Now I was pretty much stuck with Lance Stroll because he has been in single seats pretty much his whole life, and obviously as we know his dad is very solidified into the Formula 1 paddock and obviously has his own team. But I was thinking if there was anywhere that Lance may go to, it would probably be Indycar. I feel like it would be something for Lawrence that would want to kind of expand over into America, and obviously we know that, you know, Canada, their hometown, is just above America. So I would definitely say that it would probably be IndyCar. I feel like there's a good market there for Lawrence that he could go and expand to. Not just saying this is just because of Lawrence, but I feel like, you know, we've seen wherever Lawrence goes, Lance will go with him. So I feel like Lance would kind of do IndyCar maybe. Now next is our four-time world champion in Sebastian Vettel. I honestly feel like Sebastian would go somewhere which is very forward focused and very electric, I would say, because the last couple of years we've really seen Sebastian really care for the environment. He probably did before. I just think we've seen it a lot recently, especially with Ted and the cheese. You know, he was like, look, that cheese could have gone to somebody that needed the cheese. You know, he is working with the bees as we saw before. Oh, I'm just gonna have a little moment about Sebastian. He is honestly just being the cutest human right now. So I definitely feel like he would want to go somewhere which is pushing forward. I don't think he would want to go to like a generic, you know, racing series which was using all this petrol and you burning all these fossils or whatever. So I definitely can see him probably going to Formula E. I've picked Formula E over like Extreme E or anything like that. Now next I have got Pierre Gasly, and I've honestly said for Pierre Gasly either DTM or Formula E. He done half a year of Formula E in 2017, so he kind of knows the drill with Formula E, and I think he'd be able to step back in the car in Formula E and definitely do something. And I don't know when this video is coming out, but the rumours at the moment are bad for Pierre Gasly's Formula 1 career. So maybe this might actually happen in the next couple of years. I really pray not. Nothing against you, Formula E, but I would like to see him, you know, get to the top of the field in Formula 1. But if he was to go somewhere, I would probably say Formula E and maybe DTM. We know that some of the younger Red Bull drivers or the rejects from the Red Bull program are going to DTM. We know Alex Albon is there now. We know that Liam Lawson is there now. So maybe Pierre could be thrown in that mix too. And next is his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. And honestly, I've said really similar for Yuki Tsunoda. Probably more DTM than Formula E for Yuki. I don't know why. I just feel like I would see him more doing maybe GT cars or something like that. Not really sure I'd see him in Formula E. I don't know why. Maybe it's the electric thing. I don't know what it is. Again, he might go somewhere where Honda are going. He might go back over to Japan and do stuff with Honda. You never know. He was a Honda-backed driver before he was a Red Bull back driver, so he could go over to Japan. He could go and do some like super Formula or super GT or something like that. You just don't know. But yeah, I feel like more of a GT car for Yuki Tsunoda than anything else, but maybe DTM, depends where Red Bull send him, or if he goes back to Honda and does something in Japan. Now next is Nicholas Latifi, and I actually didn't know this, and I don't think many people know this, but actually in 2014 and 2015 Nicholas Latifi actually done the Porsche Carrera Cup GB. I didn't know that Nicholas Latifi had done this. I just kind of thought thought that he was been in Formula 2 forever, but he actually hadn't. He had done that GT racing, so I could definitely see Nicky going back to GT racing. Obviously, you know, he is, you know, kind of hanging on at Williams. We don't know how long he's going to last for. I personally feel like he will be in next year, but a lot of people don't. So if he's not, then I think he would go somewhere like maybe the GT, what's it called? GT Cup, the thing that Callum and Jack are in this year. Oh my gosh, I really should know. The GT Endurance Cup. The GT, I've got it somewhere. You know what I mean? The GT Cup. I feel like he would probably go and do something like that. He might even go back to the Porsche Carrera Cup, or maybe, you know, he could go and do the Porsche Super Cup that is traveling around the Formula 1 circus. We don't get the rights to that on Sky anymore. Such a shame. What a thrilling race it is. But yeah, maybe he will go and do something like that. Now next is George Russell, and this was honestly, out of all of them, the hardest one, because George is just, I know I'm saying that he's just like everyone's just on single seaters, but George is such a single seater driver that this was so difficult. But I've looked at it and I've thought maybe he could go across to Extreme E and either race in Lewis's team or Nico's team. I feel like obviously it's in the Mercedes family, maybe he would want to do that. He could move over to Formula E with the Mercedes team. I feel like somewhere he will stick with Mercedes. I just don't know where he would go. George Russell is such a difficult one. I could probably see him in GT racing. I don't know why. I just can imagine him right now jumping into a GT car. I don't know. George Russell is a difficult one. Might do some WEC, you know, might want to go to do the 24-hour Le Mans. I really don't know about George Russell, so that was a very difficult one. But it kind of sounds to me, from what I've just said there, that he is an all-rounder and he will go and do whatever he wants. So I guess as a compliment. Next is Yuki Tsunoda, and I think he should retire. Now next we have Mick Schumacher, and actually before Michael Schumacher came into Formula 1, he'd done DTM for a couple of years. So I'm going to say Mick could go to DTM. Again, they have the Ferrari links there. DTM have kind of powered on the last couple of years, and Ferrari are now within the DTM realm, so I could definitely see Mick stepping out and going to do something like that. That's kind of all I could say. I probably would say go more towards DTM, and especially because DTM is a German touring car championship. It is basically what it was. I don't know how much it's deemed for anymore, but it is basically the top of GT racing. So to have a name like Mick Schumacher in there, obviously being German too, I think is the perfect combination. So yeah, I would love to see Mick Schumacher in DTM, and imagine the viewer boostings that you would get if Mick Schumacher went to DTM. Now next is Fernando Alonso, and I believe he should go to Dakar. He has got unfinished business over there in Dakar. Obviously he kind of cut what he was doing short to return back to Formula 1. How long he will stay in Formula 1 for, we do not know, but once he's finished, I definitely think he'll go back to Dakar, go and try and do his business there. But again, I could even see him doing full-time IndyCar. I think that would be something that he would be really good at, but overall probably Dakar would definitely be first. I think he definitely wants to get back in that as soon as possible. Now next is Esteban Ocon, and actually in 2016 he done 20 races in DTM for Mercedes. That was before they pulled out of the championship. So Esteban Ocon could definitely go back to DTM. Again, it's very difficult to say because Mercedes aren't in there anymore. There's like other teams left, right and centre, but I would probably say Esteban Ocon could go and do that again. I don't really know where else I would put him. Again, he might move over to the Mercedes Formula E team, maybe if Stoffel or Mick move away, or if something happens there, if they get kicked out. But if, you know, Esteban doesn't have a seat in Formula 1 for next year or the year after that, I definitely feel like Toto could put him somewhere like the Formula E team, or maybe find him a seat somewhere else. Now next we've got Lando Norris, and Lando Norris would 100% go to IndyCar. We know how much he's been interested in IndyCar, and we know how much he's been interested in doing the Indy 500. Zach Brown has definitely said he's going to try and get Lando in on the Indy 500 next year. So I would definitely say Lando would love to go to America and go and do that. I think definitely more IndyCar than NASCAR. I feel like it suits, you know, and I've watched Lando do IndyCar on the sim way too much. I really think he would be good at it. So honestly, I'm going to say Lando Norris to go to IndyCar. Yeah, I would love to see that. Now next we have got Daniel Ricciardo. Now, Daniel Ricciardo is a massive NASCAR fan, so that's why I think he would literally leg it. He would go straight over to NASCAR. I don't think there's any two ways about it. It's difficult because obviously he's so used to the European scene and he's never been over to the America and done that sort of stuff. But a lot of the time he is living in LA. He has got a lot of family and relatives over, and obviously friends over in LA. So he could easily pick his life up from Monaco and move himself over to LA and then go and do NASCAR. Like, I think he would absolutely love it. I think he would have the time of his life doing it. I think he would just have fun doing it. And as well, his main racing idols were actually from NASCAR, which is crazy because a lot of people pick people from Formula 1, but he picked people from NASCAR and he has stuck by them ever since, and they are just his racing idols. So I would definitely say that Daniel Ricciardo would go to NASCAR. So we've got both McLarens there going to America. Quite fitting considering Zach Brown is American. Okay, so Keira thought she'd got to the top 6, which she technically had, but she missed out 2 of them. So, sorry, future Keira is here, and I am bringing 2 of the drivers that I have actually forgotten. Firstly, it is Sergio Perez. Now, where I think that Sergio Perez is probably going to go if his Formula 1 career was to tail off is Indycar. We've seen the likes of Montoya and Alonso go to Indycar in some shape or form after Formula 1, and, you know, some of them have had success, some of them haven't, but I honestly feel like it would be a great market for him. You know, he's close to home in Mexico, he's probably going to bring some new sponsors on, you know, and even just discovering America in general, I think for Checo would be very, very good for his career. So I would say for Checo, definitely IndyCar. And next is none other than the Monegasque in Charles Leclerc. Now, Charles is another very difficult one because he has just done single-seaters and he's such a single-seater guy, and we know that he is part of the future for Ferrari, so it's very difficult to kind of see where he would go. But I feel like I could maybe even envision him in LMP1 or something within WEC. I don't know what it is. I feel like he'd definitely be at the top of the class. Like, he wouldn't be doing, but he wouldn't be doing any of like the backmarking kind of GT cars. He would definitely be in LMP1 or LMP2. I was just kind of see him doing WEC maybe. I don't know why. Has he done iRacing before on it? I don't know. But yeah, definitely Charles Leclerc for WEC. I don't know, I couldn't really see him in Formula E. I couldn't really see him in any other sort of single-seater, so that's probably what I'd say for them too. But anyway, back to Keira, who's now going to talk about the rest of the other 4. Now we're moving on to our top 6 now, and I have got Carlos Sainz next, and I said that he is going to step into his Carlos Sainz Senior's team in Extreme E. Now, I wasn't sure on this one because I think if you look at Carlos Sainz as a person, I don't really think he's someone that would want to do electric, but obviously his dad's got the team now, and maybe, you know, I might be wrong, but I do feel like that, you know, once Carlos Sr. has kind of had his day, or maybe he can't be bothered to do extreme anymore, maybe he just wants to be a team boss, maybe he could just step aside and let his son ride in the car. Like, I think that would be awesome. And obviously, Carlos Sainz Sr. is a 2-time rallycross champion, so Carlos Sainz probably does have it in him that he could do rally as well. Like, not being funny, but Carlos Sainz has been an amazing driver in Formula 1. His dad is an amazing driver in rallycross. I don't know how good his dad is in single-seaters, but I definitely think that Carlos Sainz would be really good in rally. So I could see him in Extreme in the next couple of years, especially if maybe once his Ferrari stint is over and he might not be able to renew a contract anywhere, he may just step away and go and do Extreme E, which I would love to see. Now next we have got Max Verstappen, and I would say Verstappen would go and do WEC and would especially want to do the Le Mans 24-hour. Now Jos Verstappen actually done the 24-hour Le Mans in 08 and 09 and actually won the LMP2 class with his team in 2008. So his dad shows that he's got the pace. Even only 10 years ago, he has definitely got the pace to do it. And I think Max has definitely been interested before. He does a lot of iRacing. I think he has said before he would like to do Le Mans. He has done so many of the night races that you do on iRacing, especially throughout the lockdown. He has done them long stints throughout the night. He has slept as if he was doing Le Mans. So if I could see him go anywhere, I'd probably say he would do endurance, which is so weird because we think of Max Verstappen as such like a quick, speedy driver. But actually, I think him stepping into WEC and maybe doing Le Mans, I would really bet on it. And also we do have Team Netherlands in WEC, and they have similar sponsors to Max Verstappen, and I think they would die to have Max Verstappen on their team. So I think it's a perfect match. I think we could definitely see that. Now next we have got Valtteri Bottas, and I think he would do rallying 100%. He does it in his spare time in Finland anyway, but I think he would only do rallying on ice. I just feel like it's much more suited to him. He's much more used to rallying on ice, and I feel like it would just be what he would prefer to do. I feel like he could do rallying, like normal rallying or dirt rallying, but I just feel like he would definitely prefer to do it on ice. He's so used to it. I think he's really good. I really want to see him properly, like, professionally race. So I'm not hoping that he leaves Formula 1, but I'm hoping he does do rallying at some point in my lifetime, in his lifetime, so I can view that because I would love to watch that. Now next we have got the 7-time world champion in Lewis Hamilton, and this actually had more options than I kind of thought. I think he has been kind of poached, especially by Jean-Eric Vergne, to like come and do Formula E, and he said no, he doesn't want to do it. However, he's now got his team in Extreme E, so maybe he could do a Jensen Button, retire from Formula 1. Obviously he's got the team already in Extreme E, so maybe he could actually go and race for it one day. Really not sure if that would actually happen or not. I don't know how Lewis is with rallying. I don't know whether he really wants to explore that. However, one thing I could 100 million % see Lewis doing is MotoGP. Okay, I don't know whether he'd have to climb the ranks with the rookies in Moto3 and Moto2 or whatever, but Lewis Hamilton is very good on a motorbike. I have seen him before ride his bike. He proper leans in like those MotoGP riders. You know, he is not afraid to do it. And his idol is Valentino Rossi. He has been for ages. They literally love each other. It's like a little bromance going on, and it's it's beautiful. And yeah, I definitely think Lewis would honestly would love to do it. I think he'd definitely love to do it more, especially if he didn't have the Formula 1 commitments, because obviously if you break your leg, you've broken your leg. But I definitely, oh my god, yeah, Lewis Hamilton probably more so doing the motorbike racing than doing any sort of Extreme E. I feel like he would just rather keep the team in Extreme E, but he would definitely love to pick up the ropes, and maybe we could see him in MotoGP one day. So there we have it. That is it for today's video, and that is where I think the drivers would go from the 2021 F1 grid if they were to leave Formula 1 at the end of the year. It was kind of difficult, kind of not. I feel like maybe some things I didn't pick up on that I should have done. Maybe some things are really wrong. Let me know in the comment section below where you think everybody would go. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys think. But yeah, I hope none of these guys leave Formula 1 anytime soon. We do love the current grid that we have got. So yeah, this is just kind of what I think would happen. Again, I love seeing all these different drivers go in different places. I love all the other series that I have mentioned here. Let me know if there were other things that I could have mentioned, because again, I didn't say loads of different series. I tried to keep it within like 5 or 6. But anyway, let me know what you thought about my video. Let me know in the comments. Let me know all your thoughts. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, I will see you again soon. Bye.